in this section we were working with colors with red, green and blue, of course with curves, with red curve, green and blue curve. And at the end of that section, it's very important for me to talk about masks. That will be sort of introduction to more advanced thing. You see, if you look at this image, we have some very simple and basic colors. That was the reason why I chose this image. And let's say you want to improve just one of them. For example, you want to improve the red houses over here or green one, or you want to improve the lights on each or contrast somewhere. The answer with such an issue will be masks. I'm not sure if you already know something about masks. If you do, if you are experienced with masks, just you can move on to the next section. And for all others one, let's have some sort of introduction to the masks. You see, when you create your curve or any other adjustment layer, you have this little mask over here. And right now it has white color. White color express what is visible on this image. So if I'm going to pull the curve up, everything will be visible on this image. The image just in total become brighter. The same if I'm going to take it down, right? So keep this up like this. And if I'm going to invert this layer mask into color black, it will become invisible, because as I said, the white color represent visibility, black color represent invisibility, if I can say like this. So let's select this and then press Ctrl or Command and I, and we inverted this layer mask. It doesn't mean something changed with your curve, nothing changed, it's still here, but we covered our layer mask with color black. If this color will be more gray, it will be half visible. So it's like a range from white to black. White, 100% visible, 50% gray would be 50% visible, and black is invisible. It won't be so easy randomly now to put a gray color, and I don't want to paint, but how does it work? You can press Alt or Option and hit on this layer and you will see black. If you invert this, it will become white. So that's the visibility of our layer mask. Now I can press Alt or Option to pull it back and we see our colors once again. So how we could work if we want these red houses to be more red? Let me restart this curve and I'm going to choose red color of the curve. What I would do, I'll just pull this curve up just like that slightly to bring the red color, and of course I don't want this everywhere. As I mentioned, I want this only on these houses, or maybe just on this house right now. So I would invert this layer mask by pressing Ctrl or Command and I, and then I'm going to zoom this in. And as you remember, how to make the thing visible is to paint over with color white to bring this color white over here back. So I would choose a brush, and of course everything 100, flow and opacity. Brush, better keep it quite soft to keep the soft edges. And look what is happening. I'm just painting with color white. But the truth is, I'm not painting on the image with color white, but I'm bringing the white color on the mask. So that is all the points of our layer mask. So let me paint this quickly. Sorry if I did any mistakes, but let's have a look. And that would be our result, as you can see, before and after. So I could do the same with the other house quickly to make this equal. So I believe with these little houses were super easy example to show you how the mask works, and I believe it's quite obvious for you that you can do everything using mask. Actually, you can bring any color, you can work with any other color, etc. Let me create new layer mask right now. So I'm not layer mask, of course, new curve layer with layer mask, because we have them. And now I'm going to take care of this yellow house. I'm sorry, greenhouse. I don't know why I do so many mistakes. And okay, let's zoom this in. And this time I'm not going to invert this straight away, but I'm going to paint with black color over here. So you will see something different. So now, as you can see, I'm going back to the original color. And if you have any answers in your head right now, everything will be resolved very soon. So now I brought back the original color and everything on the image is quite red. And what can I do right now? I can invert this once again. So white color of the layer mask become black, and black color that is on layer mask become white. Control or Command and I, and as you can see, I resolved what I wanted to resolve. So right now let's jump into some other example where we have, when we don't have such an easy selection, and straight away I'm going to jump to curves. And before, it was very difficult for us without working on mask to do something with this green color over here. That would be super easy with mask. I'm just going to pull this up no matter what, because I don't want to be focused on details right now, but explain you working with masks. And I would invert this, of course, Control or Command and I, and painting with white color around over the grass. Of course, be careful at the flowers because you don't want to affect them. So you have to paint all around, be really careful with the flowers and all of the details that you actually don't want to affect. With this image, it's not so difficult. We would have some more troubles probably with the hair because over here, as you can see, it's not many of them, and it would be long and detailed work to work with the hair. So I would stay with the previous method with the hair, trying to work the best how it actually works for me. Let's have a look. What I would do, similar as before, I would just try the dropper somewhere here on the middle, as we already talked before, and go up with this just a little bit. And I actually affected maybe face. So what I would do in this case, I wouldn't try to paint over the hair, like mask everything and paint over the hair. I wouldn't try to do this. What I would rather do, I'm going to do step back. I would rather choose the black color and try to mask the reds I brought on the face. That would be much easier for me, don't you think? Because here I would have really detailed work with the hair. So for me, that would be easier way just to take down the reds from what I brought. So as you can see, being aware of the mask, of existing of the mask is super important. And remember every time when you working with curves. And of course, now we're going to jump into more advanced section, and you're going to know much more advanced selection and more advanced, more creative use of masks working with curves. That's going to give you really amazing result, that's going to speed up your work, that's going to make your work, give your work much more control on each image you're going to work with.